This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You are talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello and a big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry. Yes, it is of course Dante week. We're at home. The Bar Stewards are at home. And we're hoping to change our fortunes. Now, Quentin and John sort of turned the boat around a little bit the weekend. I'm pleased to say after their klaxon winning, too bossy for us, they're back on the show this evening with Jack Veach. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening all.
Evening, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hopefully we can get it right at the Dante week. Obviously, puts food on our table and we need to put food on yours. So, without further ado, we'll go to the best bets round and hopefully the three of us have got a few gems to unearth over the next 3 days on the Knaves Mire. Sound like Cunningham. God forbid. It's been on today, hasn't it? Fucking Beverly. So, yeah, you don't want any more of that. No more Knaves Mire rubbish. So, York it is. Where shall I come for the first 1 pointer? I'm going to go to Mr. Veach.
Rightly. Well, yeah, we're certainly due a change of fortunes, or I am anyway. And we're going to kick off with an old friend in tomorrow's Churchill Tyres handicap, the 6 furlong race at 2:45. And we're with the old boy Summergand here, who's nearly as old as me. But he's still showing as much enthusiasm for the game as ever. He's had 2 turf runs this year, both at HQ. Pretty eye-catching, particularly on the first occasion here, where paid to be on the front end that day. He was held up as he always is, had a bit of interference in the run, finished his race really nicely. Final 2 in 22.63, which was the quickest, 103% finishing speed percentage. Next time out at the Guineas meeting, a little bit below par to be fair, but he was slowly away, never really in the race.
You think off?
Didn't look particularly busy, John, to be fair. So I'm willing to just forgive him that one. And I think, as you point out in your note,
Danny Tudor was that careful. He could have been Massagini Granny's friend.
well, he knows when the big day is, John, and I'm hoping it's tomorrow. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's very good round here. I mean, his last win actually in August at the Ebor meeting, won off £8 higher, dead heated with Albashire. So the handicap has been quite kind to him in his old age.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
I still think he's in as good a nick as ever. Obviously, he'll be played late, but there's plenty of pace low draw. And he's in 5. There's plenty of pace amongst the low draws. You've got Lethal Levi, Hyper Focus, Hispanic, Lethal Nymph all go forward. So I think he's on the right side. Couple of speed balls high and Bournemouth Dakota Gold in a bait, but I think he's in the right sort of place in 5. And yeah, expect him to be coming hard and fast and late. And as always, it's going to be a bit of a nail biter for backers, but I think he's well placed to go well tomorrow. And I'd have him favourite. I think he's around the what you're going to give me, Lee? 7s, 8s, 15 to 2?
17 to 2 with Paddy's, Hills and Betfair.
Yep, happy with that. I'd have him a couple of points shorter. So yeah, 1 point win for me.
Good stuff on the old boy Summergand. Nick Davis will be your fanboy after that, I think. He's obsessed with that also. Good start. Okay, I'll carry it on. Hopefully go to Thursday for the Hambleton. Hambleton, yes.
The Texan Hambleton.
And of course, this race, it's quite incredible because you've got the favourite, Metal Merchant, that won that busy handicap at Newbury, probably one of the best form handicaps we've got this season so far. He's favourite, but still 19. How on earth can he win from there? That'd be an astonishing performance to win from that far wide when the bend approaches. So I've gone with Ed Bethel trained Point Linus, who was very progressive last year and ended up running in a Group 3 behind Chindit to round the season off. And obviously he wasn't good enough, given he's got a rate of 100, to chew the fat with those types, but certainly he was progressive last year. And he was only just touched off at the Ebor meeting in the big mile handicap here, so he loves the track. It suits front runners, as we know, the mile here. And Point Linus, although he's not going to get this easy, they don't have to lead with him. Callum Rodriguez knows the horse and has took a pull on him before if the pace has been brutal. So I think this is going to run big. Ed Bethel's great off a break, so I'm not really worried about fitness. I'm not worried that this is not the target. I think it will be the target. I'm sure they've got aspirations of maybe trying to progress again this season into listed class, etc. So Point Linus is very solid. He's already beaten Northern Express, and he's no worse off in the weight. So I don't understand why that's 5 points shorter than Point Linus. So 1 point win, 12-1 general, a good price. Jonas Lane.
Hello. Hello, boys and girls. 5:20 Wednesday. This is fairly straightforward, I think. Waran on a rapidly declining mark. I think this is a typical tee-up job for Safi from Daddy. This race should favour the hold-up tactics. It's not necessarily deliberately held up, this thing. It's just a bit of a shitty start. Behaved like an absolute clown at Windsor last time. Spunked the entire chance it had at Windsor. And I think Burglar's Dream and Asgard's Captain ought to ensure there's enough pace on for Safi not to have to get too busy so early in the straight, and she can just creep into this and take them out late. 1 point win.
13-2 Hills 888 for Miss Darling Racing League, Safi Osborne in the saddle, John.
Darling Safi.
Right, that's some decent prices for round one. Quentin, do you carry on the trend with decent prices?
If she runs, I think she'll be a big price. I'm going to go to Michael Seeley on Friday, 15-15. Horse that I think will be underestimated at Bet for SP. Not jocked up currently. I hope they do run her because it looks weak enough, Michael Seeley. Queen's Reign. Liked her as a 2-year-old. Won on her second start at Newmarket. Came to Yarmouth on the end of April looking tubby and carrying a bit of condition, according to my notes. Thought she was a lot better than the bare result that day. Leading on the wing, headwind in her face, fading, shaking as if the run was needed. Pedigree suggests that a mile should be no issue at all, and she's got enough size to suggest she'll train on this year. Yard have won this race with Premio Baccio before. What was that, 2021, I think it was. Suspect they'll go here hunting for black type. A few in the race I'm not overly keen on, in all honesty. Spiritual looks a cow bag. Devoted Queen, I was a bit disappointed with her effort at Kempton. That form hardly looked strong given the second home. Flopped in favourable conditions last time out. I'm just trying to find out what else is running. There we go. True Cayenne wasn't taken with that HQ in the Guineas. Bellacci, I don't think they'll run. Bassina had the run of things on a day where the wind was blowing a moment at HQ. And yeah, I just think she's going to be underestimated by the market if she runs. 1 point win Bet for SP.
And I think the good thing with this is obviously people listening tonight, there's no need to take the 25s on offer. Just wait until she's declared tomorrow and play then if you have to. Or like Quentin thinks she'll be a big enough price on the machine because of her rating. And it won't be the first time trainers like Ed Walker and other idiots completely blow Fillies handicaps marks wide open by running them above their perceived pay grade, shall we say. But that's a lovely price to start us off. Quentin thinks this one steps forward a lot. So what do you think? Are you following Quentin in? Good end to the round. Okay, round two. Jonas.
Right, we're on Friday now. The 4:15. I think it's for horses that's only run once. And I've got this race down to 2, but fear not, I'm not going to be split stake wankering.
No more than 2 runs.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
I made it between Undersage and Lead Artist. I thought they were the 2 to concentrate on. I favour Undersage as he looks very uncomplicated. I like his manner very much. He was quite laid back in the paddock pre-race at Newbury. The other one wasn't the finished article at HQ. I was chucking his head about a bit. The walk across the Knavesmire could just test him a bit. He could arrive at the parade ring with the piddler banging on his belly either side. So I'm very hopeful that the preliminaries will give me a bit of a head start here. Also, Undersage is from a maiden that's absolutely shitting winners. The winner economics runs in the Dante. Well, at time of rating he does. And there's a very tenuous form line where the 5th in the Wood Ditton, which was lead artist race, met the 8th from Newbury, and the Newbury horse won comfortably. So I am sort of hopeful that the Newbury race is better than the Wood Ditton anyway. I'm pretty certain we're about 11 to 4. I think that's a reasonably good value bet. I wouldn't be going any lower than 2 to 1 about him. But it is what it is, so I'm going in now with 2 points win.
Yeah. Are you after a fair price the night before, or do you want Betfair SP?
I'll have Betfair SP, please.
Okay, Under Siege for John there in the novice on Friday. Quentin, I'm going to swing it straight back round to you, sir.
I'm going to go in this 16-15 tomorrow, Lee. A horse you and I know fairly well. Horse in question is, where's the list? Quite Resolve. Scaffolder trained horse. He's had the knackers off. I think that's going to work wonders for him. Kind of looked more like a tough grinder last year. I know his form has been on the all-weather, but there's no reason that he won't step up now on turf for the first time. Beat the well-regarded Mike Cloud at Newcastle in a very, very good time and looked to have been let in light with a mark of 78. Didn't go a yard at Wolverhampton for some reason or other. Putting it down to an off day. Comes here on a fair enough mark. Yeah, you got a few at the top of the market that you can make cases for, but 16 to 1 based on the time alone underestimates his raw ability. Should get a good pace set up here to aim from and tuck in from box 11. 16 to 1 looks too big. 2 points win.
We've talked about this horse before when we've been doing edge and things like that, and when he ran last time he was bitterly disappointing at Wolverhampton, and obviously the horse probably didn't have his mind on his job, so off come the tackle. And Quentin says that this can revive itself, and the 16 to 1 is there with Paddy Power and Betfair.
Wonder when the trainer's tackle's coming up.
Well, I'm going to say it's definitely needed in that neck of the woods. They're like rabbits in Middleton. I'm going to go with a difference of opinion to you, QF. So I'm saying I want to be with El Monjed in the very same race as yours. For reasons that it is Indian Jim, which is never a plus. But this horse, the gelded before debut, and apparently he was a bit of a boy, this lad at home, but a lot of ability, and he defied that by winning at Lingfield, a track that wouldn't have suited, 6 undulating. A better track for him next time at Aydock, a stiffer 6, but still, 6 was no good to him, and he just prevailed in the closing stages, showing his class to get up late. Now, the form of that is very strong, as you can see from the principles of that victory. So this horse is definitely better than 90 from just looking at the form. That's plain to see. But what encouraged me was the fact that the shirt entered it straight away for a race at Shanty after that win, a listed contest. So clearly they think he's definitely better than a handicapper. And he's also, the shirt's entered him in a listed contest as well. He's got a listed entry among his entries. So it proves that the shirt thinks that 90 is too low. Now people will say, draw. It's not too bad in recent times if you look. You can be stuck a little bit. If you are stuck wide, then it can be a bit of a problem, but it's not the be-all and end-all wide draws. In fact, they do better than the low draws in recent times in decent side fields. So I'm less concerned about that than probably most would be. It's just whether Indian Jim gives it the right ride. And I think if he does, it's going to be very dangerous. 2 points win, 7 to 2, generally available. Jack, finish the round off, please.
Right, we're also off to Friday, the 15-15 Michael Seeley. Difference of opinion between myself and QF here. Certainly agree with his assessment on the race on the whole. Can see his horse improving, to be fair, so certainly won't be losing on that one. But I am with the Roger Vegetables trained True Scion here. For me, I thought it was a promising enough run on reappearance. She was quite well fancied in that the Nell Gwyn coming up into the day, but drifted quite a bit late to suggest that she needed the run. And I thought a lot of his fillies at that time of year, if you look at the Guineas winner Al Malka, I think I saw him say that hadn't even breezed on grass this spring. And obviously we've had a crap winter, very wet, and these fillies do typically need a run and a bit of sun on their backs to get going. So I thought she'd come on plenty for that, and I saw enough there to suggest that she's one to keep on side this year. Her maiden win back end at HQ's worked out relatively well. You got the likes of Rochelle, Chorus, Malavelli, who I like, have all come out and run well since. So I think she was the best of these, and I had similar reservations to Quentin against the likes of Devoted Queen. Was pretty deflated with that Kempton run. She's a filly that I liked prior to that, but the form hasn't worked out. Time wasn't particularly good, so I'm happy to swerve her. I think there's still a horse there, but I don't know how good she's going to be. Other than that, Spiritual, back to her last time, she's a cunt. Balachi, more exposed than Savile at Stoke Mandeville. But Bolsina, yeah, I just don't know why they've chucked her in here. To be honest, off that mark, that's pretty workable. So, not sure on placing. So it's an open race, but I think True Sign might end up being the best of these, and I'm quite happy to row in with her. Fine, she runs, she's jocked up, so hopefully we get a run for her money. But I think she should be favourite. So around the 7-2 mark is perfectly fine with me. 2-point win.
They do like her. They really like this filly. The message was quite positive before the Newmarket race that I was getting. But it is Roger Vegetables. Will Roger Vegetables be on the Jap's eye that evening? That's the question.
Jesus.
Move on to the best bets round. Come on, we're going to land a lucky one of these days. We need to. We all need to. We're going to be fucking skint at this rate. Let's do a lucky. Come on. Let's start roaring. The 3-point rounds here, folks. Hopefully, we can do the business for you. So, I'm going to kick us off because mine's the most boring.
I think I know where you're going.
I don't mind.
Well, I don't disagree.
Yeah, people fucking moan, say,
boring.
Yeah. Even money shot. I can tip them. My granny can tip them. It's in the Musidora and it's Friendly Soul. I've got this about 8-13, 4-7. I don't think classical songs much at all. I genuinely don't. And the opposition, I know there's no market confidence behind Mayfair. I don't think there's much stable confidence from what I can gather. Then you've got the Kilts Francophone. She wouldn't be good enough. Secret Satire, she definitely wouldn't be good enough. Synology could step forwards, but again, I don't think it's good enough. And then you've got La Passionaria of Beckett's, who I do respect with fillies all the time, but again, rated 81. Friendly Soul, absolutely pissed up against a horse that they couldn't have beaten in the Pretty Polly. Calpana, pulling 12 clear of the third, good time figure. They were on the floor when Calpana got beat. They think she's a proper group horse. And Friendly Soul floored this for George Drawbridge.
Pull up the drawbridge.
Come on, George. Yeah, even money. This is a blogger style. Get the 5 large out and get into Jennings bet. L. Jennings. Double the Real Madrid winning on Friendly Soul. Yes, even money for me to kick the round off. And I don't make no apologies for that. She's a very good bet. A Kingman filly there. Okay, Jack, coming back to you.
Another difference of opinion. So you're hopefully going to get the winner in this race. It's the 4:15 on Friday. Race John tipped in, and I'm with his other selection, Lead Artist. I had it the same, completely down to the 2 between himself and Under Siege. I was happy with that start in the Wood Ditton. I think he did a lot wrong at the start, narrowly got beaten in the end, and he could reoppose the winner of that here, and that I'd have to give him £5. So I can certainly see that form being overturned. I think he'll end up being the better of the 2. I think he's just a horse that will just improve run by run. Yards runners are tending to improve for the run, and he's still got this in the SJP. Could be a bit fanciful, but I think this could end up being certainly a group horse in time. Whether they go for this and then one more run for a spin in something like the Britannia or maybe a Jersey, something like that. But I can see him being Royal Ascot. Yard actually won this last year with Mustabshir, who came into the race with a similar sort of profile. So he's got form in this particular race. And I think he will be favourite. I don't think he's going to be as short as the sort of even money mark, but I think he probably will be sort of around the 6-4 sort of mark. But I'm perfectly happy with that. I think this is a colt going places, and I'm expecting more from him. And I think he'll take the beating on Friday with a saver on John's as well.
Yeah, Pierre Van Hooydonk could be the order of the day, as John also likes that one. So just back both. Do another blog. 4-7, the Van Barneveld. Add the lot on. The lot. Pack it into your trousers, your jacket. Hit the books, especially Jeff Banks. He's there. Hit Banks. Send him home miserable. I think we've got that race sus. We know what we're doing in that race. Quentin, coming to you.
We won't be landing a 3-point round lucky 15 because I'm with you, Lee, and Friendly Soul. in Musidora. How's she this and not 8-13? That's the kind of price I made her. Strong on the clock last time out. Like the one thing I've factored into the pricing is Kieran Schumacher, because I don't think books have fully factored that in. But even with him up, he's had a feel of her last time out, won in a good time. Even with that, she's an 8-13 shot here. You've got the Beckett Horse classical song. She bled last time out. Feel she'll be better on easier ground, given the way she moves. Francophone, nice type, but not up to this sort of level at this stage. La Passionada, another one that I feel needs soft ground. Mayfair's not much stamina, to be honest, in the page. Quite quickly bred, had the run of things at Dundalk last time out. Secret Satire, run of things at Sandown. That form wasn't really franked with Gosden's flopping in the Cheshire Oaks. And Synology, I don't think that form's worked out at Newbury. She's 8-13 shot. She's uncomplicated, goes on the ground. Travels a treat. Just pop her out on May call. 3 points win, even money.
Yeah, we love a double Max Claxon. Yeah, punters should really get on this. I'll be shocked if she's beat for the drawbridge. Okay, we'll move on to John after the asthmatic horse.
Kind of sticking with the George Strawbridge theme, but not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm taking it on Thursday in the 2:45, the Hambleton League.
Yes.
If Mersky needed stable debut in the First Hunt Cup, he has got to go well here. And in my opinion, he did need it. I thought he looked fairly slack. But the key angle to this is the fact that when he was in France under the ownership of Pull Up the Drawbridge, he never got a chance to run on quick ground. And he's a Sayuni. So here we go. We know the marks thereabouts anyway, because he's run perfectly all right at Thirsk. So we don't have to worry about equating the French farmlands or anything like that. But we can give him a hell of a boost for being fitter and a hell of a boost for being on quicker ground. And I think they're offering 6 pegs, and at the price, 1.5 points each way seems the obvious play.
It's a former George Drawbridge inmate, ran in the Thirsk Hunt Cup, of course. John thinks it wasn't straight. Do you want 25 pegs or 6 pegs, 16s?
25 pegs.
That's Entane and Boyle Sports. Good luck, folks, at getting on with them. Let us know how you get on.
Yeah.
That's why he's there with those.
So, send us a painting in.
Yeah,
we can't return them, but we'll give a prize for any that we show.
Send us your slips. Some booms. Let's do what everyone else does. Boom! Cracking some prices, apart from me and Quentin with the even money, but at least we've Claxoned it, and we're putting his money where our mouth is on that one. Hopefully, we can certainly do you good. And obviously, have your own opinion as always. You'll not like some of ours, and some you will, and it might sway you into more miserable times. Right. Me and John are attending York this week. We'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. And Jack, I believe you're there Friday.
I'm not, unfortunately. We're a non-runner now, I'm afraid. He's he's not very well, the buffalo.
Devastating news. What do you mean he's not? Has he just got snotty nose or?
So much biltong, ain't it?
That's it. So some dodgy biltong for the buffalo. Yeah, it can be dodgy, that stuff. Your heartburn, best of time. Good luck to the buffalo. Get well soon. We move on to it's sort of TV action. I couldn't be asked to do every TV race. So what we're going to do is we'll go through the stakes races, and then chaps will discuss any other business on this particular day. So tomorrow, of course, is Musidora Day, and we've got tips flying about tomorrow. So the 2 principal races are the 1895 Duke of York, not the current one.
They should do a new one and have it as a 2-year-old race.
Yeah.
Well, they could have the Camilla Parker Bowles Duke of York now, couldn't they? Now they've made her a patron at York.
Yeah. Won't be surprised to see a name change on one at races, you know.
Well, you might get Tampax to sponsor something. Now sausage fingers will get involved, won't it?
Okay, so the clip at 11-2 as your blue grey mare. John's put a note on this one, and he said, very plain type. That'll not please Adam Norman. His paddock note was compact and strong. And you said very plain. Well, I'll put it in your terms. A plain fucker. Your notes are legendary on Sunday. £7, folks, if you're not listening to this on Patreon, £7 for John's notes alone. It's just, it's a gimme. So there you go. Give his opinion on this, chaps. I thought this was the fucking hardest race of the entire week, including the handicaps. I just hadn't got a clue.
I just went straight off my pace map, and I thought swing along and be tracking the best pace out power. And that would get the check into the race. And I thought, if I had to have a bet, which I don't, I might just send Lucky round with a tenner, and that'll be swing along just because she's tracking the best pace.
Story behind a friend of ours, Andrew Bluck. We call him Lucky Blucky. He's the luckiest man that's ever walked the earth. We specifically take him to York with us when we go, and we tell him to back everything that we back.
It's like playing your Joker, and it's a knockout, isn't it?
It is. Honestly, this man is incredible. He could be on his arse and backing every loser, and then he'll come out of a bucket of shit and be the forecast or something. He's just fucking unbelievable. The man's ridiculous. So, yeah, we have Lucky Blucky with us to give us a look throughout the meeting. So we should do well this with the pod tips, because if we just tell Lucky to back him, then we're okay. I had absolutely nothing to offer in this other than that I sort of liked Tiber Fleur to step forwards this season, maybe a little bit. Fucking hell, honestly, I don't think I could rule hardly any out with confidence. It's a real tough one. Quentin, can you give us a weigh in?
As you both said, it's tough. Montesive I didn't particularly like, this more speed favouring track suited by conditions last time out. The draw won't suit this one, but I thought Marshman, he's like 25 on the machine at the moment. We were keen on him at Newmarket, just didn't handle the course. They've taken the hood off. I think he can outrun his odds. There seems to be pace across the track. As you said, you can't really rule anything out with confidence. So if you're having a small stakes play, then Marshman would be the way I go.
As your Blue will have her fans, because obviously she really did it a rich vein of form before disappointing, and she's been off a while, so obviously she had an issue after that.
She had a run last year, didn't she, when she come here?
Yeah, it's a big ass, I think, to come here off the bed like this. I mean, she'd have to hit 114 to win it. So
yeah, I know how long can get them ready, but I think it's a bit of a stretch myself.
Yeah, Jack, you any view here?
Yeah, my angling was similar as Quentin, really. Marshman, funny horse, doesn't really run two races the same, but if you do forgive him that last run, he's way too big in comparison to Montesive, who I don't think on this kind of track is a 6 furlong type. I think he's probably a 7 furlong horse, but he got away with it at Donny because it was bottomless. So, yeah, I could see that form being overturned. And I could also see Millstream beating Washington Heights as well, I think.
I've just striped off another X on my bingo card.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I have to. I've got to do it now, But I think that got Washington Heights got first run on it at HQ, and I think that'll overturn it. And it's just a funny old bunch, these sprinters. I think we're crying out for a 3-year-old like we had with Shaquille last year, who just comes and kicks all these lot into touch, because none of them are that good, I don't think.
Your obsession with this trainer, like the one I had with Natalie Imbruglia when she were on Neighbours in my younger days.
Is it an Aussie thing then, in that case?
Was she the one that played Madge, Gerald Bishop's wife?
No. Madge Bishop.
Well, she's 6% at the minute, so I've got to hope the tide turns. Not going well.
Yeah. Natalie Imbruglia, she did a song called Torn.
Yeah.
Good song.
Mm.
I was told when she never answered any of my letters. What days they were. Neighbours.
Now we only write letters to fucking trainers now. We're slipping.
Who were that were in it? Applying Giant Super Brian.
Yeah. She was fit when she took her specs off, wasn't she? It was like
that's it. Yeah, took specs off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we spent enough on Clipper. 3:45, the Musidora, and me and Quentin have waded in like Blogger and just blitzed the place. Take it down. The old Perker saying, John Malkovich, Rounders. Take
Good
it
film.
down.
Very good film. Underrated film as well.
It is. It should get mentioned much more. It's fantastic. And some great acting from Malkovich with his Russian voice. It sounds like me doing an Irishman. I sound Indian. Apart from that, it's a good watch. Any thoughts on this, Jack and John?
Not really beyond what you two have said. She was on my list, but I thought, one of you or more of you will put her up, so I'll leave you to it. But yeah, very confident selection, really. Probably make her around 8 to 11. There's just nothing in here. As Quentin said, the Beckett horse was a bleeder. Listened to him earlier in the week. It sounds like he prefers the other two that he ran in the trials than this one. Mayfair got beat at odds on at Dundalk, and that's third fav. I think that says it all. It's a shit Musidora. But this one might be a nice horse, and old Drawbridge might have to supplement a few quid if she wins this nicely for Epsom.
Yeah, well, he's got it.
It certainly does.
The title lad there don't have as many runners here now because our prize money's shit. He has more in America and France, John. What a cunt.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Let's up Drawbridge. Is it pull up or pull down the drawbridge store? I don't know.
Pull up the drawbridge.
Pull up the drawbridge.
Drawbridge.
Any other business tomorrow?
I think it's in the last. Is it in your race, Lee? Asgard's captain, I've got a positive note on that. Step up in trip, more galloping track should suit. It's in John's race, actually.
War on.
Still think he's got...
Teeing the race up for Safi.
Yeah, potentially. That's apart from that, it's a quiet day. The money for Kevin Ryan's horse is very interesting in the newcomers race, but in the 2-year-old race, that's been backed, and there's people queuing up on the machine for fucking monkeys at 4-1. I thought in that race, King of Light could take a step forward. Wasn't showing the best effect on a day where the wind was blowing them home and it was hard to make ground up at Windsor.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Okay, just John, just one thing.
Yeah.
You've tipped up War on, haven't you? The Osbornes.
Yeah.
The Osbornes. Great show that was as well. Just one thing though that might haunt you and just do your head in. But you know what I'm going to say. Toshi Zoo. I always keep track of your
notes. To sell him. Yeah, I mean, no two ways about it.
John makes notes.
I don't think he quite wants a mile and a half.
No, he doesn't. I think perfect is a well-run 10. But it's interesting. He's off 82 now, which is becoming dangerous. And no sign of Johnny Patty. I think Gobby Rodge kicked him out.
Yeah.
They've gone for the great claimer, Sean D. Bowen. He's really good for 5. So that knocks him down to 77. Whew. I don't think you're going to let that run and not lose on race.
Yeah, probably not.
That will devastate you if that wins. That'll be it. You'll be very
20 past 5. I'll probably end up back in 9 in it, won't I?
Sat with me tomorrow evening. You'll not say a fucking word tomorrow night if that wins. The 2:15 race, obviously, a lot of us have got our eyes on Klondike, the shirts runner, an interesting runner after a wind up. Certainly, they think he's a group horse. You can see that by the placing and the confidence in the market behind him when he's ran. He got a stinker of a ride off Ollie Doyle's other half in the Bahrain Trophy, and obviously he wasn't himself when he was behind arrest at Newbury. So he's an interesting runner, isn't he, in handicaps off 103?
He's the only one with any progress in him, really, in that.
I think they're all exposed. Jack, Klondike's an horse you like, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think I'd put him up. I might have put him up in that Bahrain, and as you say, terrible ride. I'd imagine they probably think he's still a group horse, and they thought, why not? Let's give it a go off 103. And yeah, as long as the ground's not too quick for him, I think the rain today would have helped. The only other one I think would be the Jarvis stable switcher, the Harry Eustace horse, who won very nicely, I thought, last time. I still might have a little bit up its sleeve.
It did, it gagged up. And the thing is with these, I mean, no one actually knows truly how bad Willie Jarvis were. I mean, well, we don't, because not that many have actually ran for different trainers. So it could end up where he was like
It's
Alan.
in the post, didn't it? It hasn't already arrived.
It could have been like Alan Berry. He just had that one lucky filly, didn't he? That one
yeah, what's her name now? Lady
Bamford.
Beaufort.
Yeah.
Can't be as bad as Alan Berry. I mean, Alan Berry just sits and watches the telly with them.
Can actually see that. orders like fish and chips in and just like offers one of them a chip. Here, have a chip. I bet Telly's black and white, I know. Right. The ghost of Jack Barry. I wonder what Jack thinks of him, John. You know when
probably wishes he had a black shirt.
You have that disappointing offspring that's totally shit.
Yeah, my dad used to talk about it.
Yeah. Sounds a bit close to home, that one for me.
I'm done with this day now. It's boring. So we go on to Thursday, which is Dante Day. We have the Middleton and the Dante. We might cover the Big Evs' race as well. Just have a look at him, see what we think. But so, Free Wind heads the market for the Middleton Filly Stakes. And this filly won this last year under Luigi in the saddle and was very, very weak in the market. And I can remember me and John sat there perplexed as to why she was so weak, and this is weird. But she got the scrambled in, really. I thought her season last year, John, was very disappointing. I know she didn't miss a dance. She was taking on some good horses. But on the whole, I didn't think she was at her best.
When I seen her going for this again, I was pretty much gagging to take her on, to be honest, after last year. I thought if Low Stocking turned up, she would be more likely to be close to peak than Free Wind, and I think she's quicker myself if it was tactical. So I'd favour Blue Stocking, I think.
Blue Stocking ran Blue Stocking beat her in the Fillies champ at Ascot and was pretty much desperate, really, because she had to make all that ground up. Poptronic had their another race. There was that doggy thing at Jackie O'Brien's in third. But I didn't think Free Wind were at her best last year for whatever reason. It wasn't like the season before, where she beat that Agasaur Sealer Rosa in the Lancashire Oaks, was put through the rail and still beat it.
I was going to say, Lee, I think that you were looking for reasons why she's not improved. Jim Crowley almost killed her. She's not been the same since then for me.
That could have been the experience. You know what fillies are like? Once that's it. Once you do something bad, that's it. They're off. And don't forget, Luigi was on her all last year, and now it's Skidmark. So it's a big jockey downgrade on top with the cherry on top. I'm against her as well. Quentin?
Yeah, against Free Wind. Blue Stocking looks the obvious one against her. Now Beckett's just starting to hit some form. What was everyone's views on Infinite Cosmos? I know we liked her last year. Typical Prescott, fucking stout improver as a 4-year-old, or do you think she's not at the levels that we kind of thought she would hit when she ran in the Musidora last year?
I'd be more interested in her at 12 later on in the year, personally. I think she'll probably just want this.
John?
I think she just looks a bit surly, to be honest. I'd like to see her grow up a bit, and I couldn't back her without a run this year.
She can't be easy to train. 3 starts last year.
Yeah, exactly. I think that York run absolutely floored her last year.
Carnarvon third in the Oaks last year, but we're pretty well beaten, but she's probably not going to be good enough. Nova's certainly not good enough. Sapphire Seas?
Not really, not for me. I'd be with Blue Stocking, as John said. I think she hit the bar quite a few times last year in at top level, and I think she'll get what she deserves at some point this year, and she ought to be putting these away if that's what she does.
Question: is she becoming very tricky as a film?
Blue Stocking?
I think this will tell you, to be honest. I think this race will tell you.
Kind of hanging a little bit. She hangs to the right. It's not what you want.
I'm expecting the other one to look proper tricky on the skid back. So if she doesn't convert the penalty, I'll be putting a squiggle next to her name.
You wonder why she's still in training at 6. Is she barren or something? You know, there's nothing. She's done enough to put her in the paddocks at this point, surely. You'd think.
That's a very good point. Maybe they're after a Group 1 with her.
Group 1.
She was touched off by Warm Heart in the Yorkshire Oaks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a case of they think she can still do it. She can probably bag a Group 1 this year.
Greedy George.
Yeah, Greedy George. The thing is with fillies and mares is, as we know, when they're on song and they're on a roll, they can do that. She might turn up and win a shit Nassau or something.
Has he got a third runner this week? He might be having a sneaky patent and a trip over.
He's got that shit spiritual in the Michael Seeley.
Oh,
I mean, if she wins, I'll give up, but probably will now.
We might see George Drawbridge in the flesh, John.
Well, if we do, we'll have to buy him a drink because he's
Wait and see how that filly gets on tomorrow.
Countless hours of pleasure, hasn't he? Over the years.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on. 3:45. It's the Dante, and Ancient Wisdom heads the market at 11-8 at current prices. Surety winner last season. Been good reports about this horse, and he's quite fancied for the Derby. Where we sat with him, chaps?
Looks short at the top of the market.
Yeah.
I don't think he really. I know he's got winning form on decent ground, but really curls his knee. Step up in trip will suit him, but I'm not sure he's going to get away with it. Like, it's going to be probably good ground tomorrow, drying throughout tomorrow and Thursday. There's enough in here to kind of get him in the book at sub 6-4 and have the field running for you. You got economics coming from that good Newbury maiden, that one in a fair time. God's Window is semi-interesting at a big price. It's very un-Gosden-like to run one at Chester and then have him spring out a week later.
Don't we know it?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, so they obviously think they've got something there, and he's a lot better than he showed at Chester. Obviously, he was slowly away that day and just kind of never really went a yard. Like, you can stick a line through the Chester run. Caviar Heights won in a good time last time out. There's not loads of pace on. Could he get a solo in the front end? My angle win is lay Ancient Wisdom. You got race fit rivals on your side, and I think that's the way into the race.
I know what you're saying about the piston action on the Fav, Quentin. He did the same at Haydock and bounded clear on it. I know we're talking different levels of opposition. It's not guaranteed to work at this level like it is the Haydock race. But sometimes these horses deceive you. I've paid through cost myself. We're laying piston type actions on rattling quick, thinking you'll not go on that. And they seem to thrive on it. But whether it keeps them sound, banging the ground that hard, quicker ground, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to work out, but it's enough to stop me taking the 11 away, a bit like yourself. A horse I was interested in, and it's interesting to see you chaps tip up Under Siege and Jack the other one in that novice. What about the shirt for the surprise with economics?
Yeah, no, he's certainly. I've got him and Caviar Heights as my two of interest here. I mean, he was really impressive last time out. Obviously, got to go on from that, but you couldn't grab him at all, really. That was a good performance.
They couldn't get enough on. More. How much do you want? More. Absolutely hammered in the betting. Ended up winning, pissing up, really. That's something for me. I think I'd be looking to play the race with something like economics. I agree with God's Window. It's interesting 7 days later. Wonder if Towser John thought God's Window didn't have a race really at Chester and it just didn't do a fucking tap round the track.
Quite possibly. There's one that isn't having a race there. I would have preferred to have seen in the Dante from that fucking yard, but there you go.
John, you've backed the moral Dante winner 2 years in a row.
Jack, I used to back loads of Dante winners. I can't even get one at the fucking start now. I used to average 2 Dante winners a year.
John, of course, absolutely disgusted with King of Steel in the Dante last year for playing up at the start, because that would have been another one. And he got big prices as well. He furious, John, when that turned out how good it was. He said, that's fucking cost me fortunes at York. Yeah, and he's not happy again because Sardian Warrior hasn't made the race. But God's Window, I think, is worth a little stab at 20. Same as economics at 12s. Caviar Heights, a small play at 6s. And I think possibly that's how we play the race, maybe centering against the Fav. He's possibly a shrewd call. Anything else to add on that?
Not for me.
No. Okay. So we will move on to any other business. Have we anything else on the Thursday that you sort of want to?
I wanted to flag the 520 as a Melrose trial. I think there's a few in here that are very interesting. Cool Legend for the shirt was an interesting one for me. Off a mark of 82, I think it's certainly going to be better than that.
Knackers off.
Yeah, fits the profile, doesn't it, of a typical improver. Then you've got Palace Green that won very impressively at Kempton by quite a distance. What's it called? O'Brien's London City. I mean, that's a Justify out of an Oaks winner. That's probably going to be better than it is. So, yeah, I don't know about
Not trained on.
not trained on. Yeah, none of them do they? But yeah, I wouldn't nail my colours to the mast with one, but just a race that you want to watch and take some notes in, I'd say.
He knows I'm going to bring it up. John's notes, and I like bringing him up on show because it's really funny following him. So John's notes, 6th of November 2023. Lovely horse in the making and a must for trackers. Has loads more to offer. Ideally on grass over 12 furlongs next season. A very bright future. 6th of December 2023. Carried his head like a right bastard and he's off the tracker. See, you know what he's done that day, don't you, folks? You know what he's done? He's done his absolute fucking 20th of December 2023. Cunt. That's when it won, so he didn't like it when it won. So, but he's been gelded, John. It might settle down now and progress for the shirt.
I will not argue that the potential is there. There's definitely potential to rate 100, but
yeah,
you know, there's issues.
Quentin,
cool legend. I didn't like him at Kempton on the 6th of December. I kind of think he knuckled down more a couple of weeks later. Handicap mark looks fine for that. Step up and trip and gelding will suit. Tokyo Bay, I think, needs softer ground. Really good time. Maybe the market will get overexcited with that. He's got a very soft ground family. Aligned the Stars was semi-interesting. Al Mutamared, don't think the speed test suited that last time out. It comes from a Wolverhampton race that hasn't worked out, but I think he's better than his mark of 86. Is this any other business or is this just this race?
Obviously, Jack likes the contest, so we'll be through it. So yeah.
The Palace Green was very fit, according to the Paddock Man, for his reappearance when they punted him off the boards at Kempton, and that's pretty much it. Whiskey Pete, I think, needs soft ground also.
Yeah, Cockeyed Pete also being gelded.
Make the shirt in the hand out.
All over the place, he's Cockeyed Pete. 4:15 at York. I thought the Westhurst it. We'd just talk about Big Evs. Well, I see he's been back from evens into 4 to 5. Are we saying he's a good thing? Does the really bad run at this track put you off last year, although it was an Unthorpe? You know, what are we saying about Big Evs?
As long as he's trained on, I wouldn't be worried about any of these, to be honest.
No,
I think if they chuck a stinker in at this place, I think you can find better even money shots.
Yeah, certain horses don't run it. Me and John can never fathom it. Why? There's certain horses just don't run the race here. Certain sprinters, like Batash, was it this place that Batash didn't run particularly well a lot of the time?
Ascot one.
Oh, Ascot.
Ascot a bit stiff.
Yeah. Imagine if he was trained by someone who could actually train horses, what he'd have achieved.
Old Mick, I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, I meant Batash, not
Charlie Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Him and all, yeah. Mick can train.
I don't mind Mick. He's all right.
Yeah, we cock watchers. He does well. It does well for them.
No comment for me on them.
Yeah, the Dixons.
My best pals.
Friends of the show?
You've upset them. Jack's upset them.
Yeah, I managed to turn it round, though. We're cordial at this point now, I think.
Less said about that, the better then. Quentin, where are you on Big Evs?
Kind of with John, to be honest. If they've thrown in a stinker at York, do you want to be bounding in with them at a skinny enough price on seasonal reappearance? I know the yard's going well. Whether I'll try and find something to beat it is another thing. I do have positive notes on the Kevin Ryan Monar Sleve. I think that's some sort of Irish name that I can't say. Wrong part of the track at Ayr last time out, but won here in a really good time on debut. Quick horse.
That was this meeting, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Yeah. Still think he's got more progression in him and hasn't been shown in the best sort of light. Whether he's trained on or not is another thing, but yeah, he's interesting at a massive price. I suspect he'll be.
Go on to Friday then. We've just got one group race to run then any of the business. It's the Boodles Yorkshire Cup. We've actually got sponsors because who's gone under or going under, but we've got Boodles. sponsoring the Yorkshire Cup. 7-4 Tower London anti-purse. Obviously, we don't know what's running yet. Look at the betting. He's obviously going to run over Kyprios. Right, I did my bollocks on this at Maidan because I put up a lump in running and I thought he can't win off them sectionals because obviously like Dubai are pretty good at putting the miles an hour and the fucking furlong per furlong sectionals. I thought he can't fucking win from there. And of course, he did win from there. And he didn't just win from there, he pissed up. And I just think, is that him now? Is he a different horse? John, I was going to mention this to you. That the problem with Coolmore, anything that's any good and really good, they retire after the 3-year-old career and they make him baby horses. Tower of London could just be one of them that just thrives 4 to 5, and just keeps on getting better and better.
He certainly has the profile, doesn't he?
Put it this way, if he turns up on Friday, I will bet him strongly because I couldn't believe that performance in Maidan. It blew me away. I thought, not did I have to pay out, but I had trousers pulled down and everything, bent over the works. It weren't just like getting up by a short head off soft fractions. He did it with a scintillate turn of pace, and I thought, wow, different animal compared to what I knew last year. Because I was saying to you lot, I backed him for the Ledger, and he just looked a bit slow, or he just didn't have the wherewithal or the pace to win a Ledger. So I just thought he's just a bit slow, mate. That's changed now. They've found the key to him somehow. So Tower of London for me, I think he's the second coming. Thoughts, chaps?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think he'll take a lot of beating in these kind of contests, anything up to 2 miles this year. I don't think he'll stay beyond that, so I don't think he'll be a Ascot Gold Cup horse even. I was half interested in him for the coronation in a couple of weeks' time, but it's a bit of a tight turnaround, that one, so I don't know if they'll go for that in the end. But yeah, I think quick ground, he'll enjoy that. I think he's quite ground dependent, so they say. He seems to kind of just win by enough, doesn't he? He's one of those types. And I don't think there's anything in here. I'm surprised to see Vauban appears as if he's running. I mean, I presume they'll just be stopping him all summer to try and get a mark together for Melbourne again. So you can
109, £5 off.
Yeah, so we can get him out the places for a few spins this summer if we like. Yeah, outside of that, I thought Salt Bay was interesting, but it doesn't look like he's going to run. I think he goes to Newbury on Saturday, so he'll be of interest there. But yeah, I think if we can get kind of 6-4 plus Tower London, that'll do for me.
It will be as well. John and Quentin?
I'm perfectly happy to rowing with Tower of London. I think he's a good horse.
Quentin?
Yep, I am with you guys. It looks like Hamish won't run, Middle-earth won't run, Kyprios, Salt Bay. Field feels like it's going to cut up. You can't see him going a strong pace. Just doesn't for Toe. I think the 7-4 looks more than fair that's available at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're certain to run. They're not going to run Kyprios, I don't think. I think
that's almost a klaxon, isn't it? A consensus across the board like that. But it's like
it is.
With it not being tipped, it's a silent klaxon, as blown by Marcel Marceau.
There's been a few tips flying about from you guys on Friday, as we've already discussed. Any other business for us on this day? Anything the Marygate, John, that takes your eye?
The Marygate, I just thought It Ain't So comes from that HQ maiden that generally throws up a Queen Mary contender, and the two that finished behind her that have run since have both won. So I think the form's pretty solid. But it's Carlton Palmer, isn't it?
Carlton Palmer did us on edge last night with one, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Carlton Palmer's in form at the moment.
Yeah, but he's not flavour of the month, and he's never going to be.
Any opinion on the Marygate, guys?
I wanted to be against the Palmer horse. I've got not much of her, very much all or now filly. The fact they didn't want to go to Lily Agnes because they were concerned about the penalty on her, like says she's tiny. She had the benefit of a handy sit on a day where the wind blew them home. Would see her not stepping forward from debut. I don't think they'll run, but Enchanting Empress would wipe the floor with these, to be honest, if she did. But I think it's straight to Ascot for her. But yeah, against a Palmer horse.
Yeah, you're biased because Enchanting Empress is Sergei Prokofiev, Canadian. Running queen for me of Ollie Sangster's a Kingman filly. Kingman filly running against fucking Marygate shit. Come on, man. Let's have some Kingman. I thought she comes from that hot race, Hawaiian, who Richard Annan says that's his best 2-year-old. Star Anthem shit up. Rashabar's shit up. Brian second
Would
to
have done if
TJA.
it wasn't drawn in the car park last week.
Yeah, would have won the Lily Agnes, I think, from a better draw. That's my opinion on that. Running Queen obviously has run well on debut in that, and then pissed all over Betty Clover, who was a last time out winner, an easy winner as well at Bath. And Convo was third of Amy Murphy. That dotted up by 5 at Saint Cloud on debut. So I think Running Queen for me for the Sangsters. Dirty Sangsters. That's where I'm going on that one. Any other business then on the Friday chaps to finish?
I thought in the 245, I thought Epic Poet was interesting. Big trainer upgrade for me, Mead to O'Meara.
Have they packed it in now? Because I've not seen them have a runner, and I've just seen loads of horses leave their yard, which is great for people who want to back them because they're shit. But I don't know if are they done now, the Meads?
Well, you'd hope so.
I
Yeah.
didn't read anything about it, but like probably a media blackout. Media.
Oh. Epic Poet for John then on any other business. Quentin, any other business?
No, to be honest.
Oh, I must just mention this one. Do we give Racing Breaks Rider another chance in the 445?
Fucking hell, it ran
If
shit.
he's settled, he's absolutely loved it, isn't he? I say Desperate Charlie's dropped him a furlong. And hopefully the tempo might assist the rider to get him to drop it. No.
Might need gelding twice, I think.
Another one in a minute.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks dead. Just couldn't be asked, could it, in Hunt Cup? Thirst Hunt Cup. Quentin, anything for you? Not really?
No, I was with John's Newbury form in the 16-15. The sprint looks interesting, but I want to kind of see how they what gets declared and what doesn't. So I've got maybe one lined up for Edge there.
Okay. Yeah, join Edge. If you're not listening to us on Patreon, join Edge. We did his brains yesterday. And we got touched off by a nose today as well. That's fucking life, isn't it? It's Esther Ranson. We've been Esther Ranson today. So disappointing, but we'll be back. We're not bad at it.
Cyril Fletcher sat there in Kiddie Fiddler Corner.
Yeah.
His evening suit on and his pot plants.
What an image. Jack, anything for you?
No, I think that's well covered. Happy with that.
Right, that's it then. We've had enough of you now, and you've had enough of us. We're at York Wednesday and Thursday, me and John. So if you want to catch up with us there, drop us a line, and we won't tell you where we're at. That's all from me. Me, John.
Not with a fucking John Lennon, do we?
Well, no, we can't have that. You can't have Lucky Blucky for 2 days. We've got him. Don't influence Lucky Blucky. We own him for 2 days. That's all from us. Bye for now.